Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Samantha and today we're doing my weekly roundup where I go through things that are new, empty, declutter, favorites, and then at the end I rotate between products that I've been using for the past week and new products that I want to use in the next week. So this round, I think it's going to be pretty short and sweet. I have not bought anything new, but I do have a few empties. So let's go through my empties first. So I went away overnight, had a little holiday stay. So I took some little minis and tried to use some very old kind of sachet stuff because it was just an overnight. So what I used is the Mecca Cosmetica Hydrating Moisturizer with Hyaluronic Acid. I actually quite like this. There was enough for 2 uses in here, but I just put the rest of it down my neck, down my décolletage, and on my back of my hands, anything that was extra. But I did actually quite like this. This is surprisingly something that I've never used, considering that I have worked at Mecca for 6 years. Then I tried the Weleda Skin Food Face Care Nourishing Night Cream. I did not like this. When I stay in a hotel, you best believe I'm having I had a shower at night, then I had one in the morning because it was one of those rainfall showers and the flooring was heated, so I took advantage. That's why I have 2 moisturizers used. So I used this at nighttime. I didn't like this. This was too oily. So I really love a thick, nourishing moisturizer, but I don't want it to feel like I've got a thick oil layer over my skin, and I felt like that. I felt like I was like the middle of summer when my natural oils come through. It just felt kind of heavy on the top of my face. So I did not enjoy that. I used one of my last beloved Dr. Dennis Gross Alpha Beta Extra Strength Daily Peels. I only have a handful left. I use them sparingly for moments like that where I'm just having a really nice self-care moment, or if I have like a really big event that I'm going to, I use these. These are very expensive to repurchase. I bought the jumbo pack back in the day and they're almost at an end. So I used it and I love it, and I wanted that luxury moment, and this is this is my favorite exfoliator of all time, but they are expensive, so I use them sparingly. Then I used a face mask. I used the OXX Skincare, the Kmart brand. They sent me a 5-pack of the Collagen Real Deep Mask. These are a dupe, or they look very similar to, I should say, the Medicube ones, which I also have. So I have now used both. I thought this was really nice, but I don't feel like it had that same depth that the Medicube ones had. However, the price of this was like $10 for a 4 or 5 pack, I can't remember. And it was good. It wasn't bad. It didn't break me out. It wasn't overly scented. And it was one of those like jelly kind of ones. Do you know what I'm talking about? They didn't feel like the fabric. They felt like the jelly, and it came in 2 pieces. It was really nice. I did enjoy it, but I do not feel like it was the same as the Medicube ones. So this one has niacinamide low molecular hyaluronic acid solution and low molecular collagen, meaning it can penetrate deeper. That's usually what that means, I believe. But yeah, I did like it. I'll continue using them. And it was a fun little self-care moment that I had. Then I have 2 fragrance samples that I finished, the little 1.5 mils. I have from Bastide. I actually looked them up on Mecca, and they are no longer sold at Mecca. And this is a wonderful fragrance brand. Everything that I've had from them, I've really enjoyed. I got their little discovery set in the Fragrance Summit last year. This is the Lavande in Love, and this had a unisex masculine quality, but I really liked it. It's not something that I think I would buy, but it was very unisex. I think it's that lavender gives it that masculinity, but a really nice, very juicy brand. That's how I describe Bastide. But they're no longer at Mecca, so I don't know if you can even get them in Australia anymore. And then this is a sample that I made for myself. This is the Jo Malone Myrrh and Tonka. I love this. I wanted to finish it up because this is very much a winter scent for me. And I wore this the morning of when I was leaving the hotel. I wanted to feel a little bit luxury. And this does that for me. This is something you definitely have to smell in store. I think this is fantastic for men, but it doesn't actually smell masculine. It is a very unisex fragrance for me. I wear it and I don't feel masculine. I think it's the tonka in it that kind of levels it out. But this is a warm, cozy, creamy. It's very intense. You don't need a lot. It'll last you the whole day. It's got that spice in there, and I don't usually like spice, but I don't mind the myrrh. It's more resinous. I think the tonka made it a bit more wearable for my taste. But definitely smell this in store. It's in the black bottles from Jo Malone, which is their eau de parfums. And yeah, I love this fragrance. I would buy it, but my wish list is so long. It's always going to be long for the rest of my life. My wish list is going to be long with fragrance. I loved it. Okay, so I don't have anything to declutter. I don't really have favorites. I'll be honest, I didn't really wear makeup this week. In the future, I will be wearing a lot more makeup. I just haven't really been doing anything to wear makeup. I will go through what I have used. Everything is on my face. Not everything. That's a lie. Most of the stuff is on my face today that I had from the previous week, but I will go through it and one by one. So my foundation is the Kevyn Aucoin Etherealist Skin Illuminating Foundation in EF02. I have the EF03 as well, but that's a little bit darker. That's more summer for me. So this I'm trying to use now before I start to get any kind of color or peachiness, I say. I'm going to keep this in for another week because I only wore this today. I know I wore my Merit Stick when I was away because that's a really good on-the-go travel product. So I didn't use this until today. So I'm going to keep this in another week because I do want to use more of this light shade now anyway. So, but it is beautiful. It's given full coverage. I did about 1.5 pumps, and I feel like one pump will give you that full, like that real true medium. But I did that a little bit more because I didn't wear concealer today. I decided to just use a little bit more in the center of my face, and I feel like it's full coverage. But I love this. If you know me, this is one of my favorite foundations of all time. My concealer was the Westman Atelier Vital Skincare Concealer in the shade L2. I love this. I've had it in for 2 weeks now, so I am ready to let it go. But she's my baby. I think I'm going to love her in summertime. My blush is what I'm wearing today. I knew I'd love it. I knew I would love it. It is a matte blush, so I did add my RMS Luminizer Quad, which is like a very balmy type of highlighter but I just used a little bit so it doesn't look oily. Because this is matte, I thought I could do with a little bit of dew, you know. This is the Air Blush in the matte range from Catrice in the shade Pink Lemonade. I love it. This is just a me shade. This is something that I can wear with any outfit, any occasion, because it just suits my skin tone so well. So this was a joy to use. I didn't wear this blush. I'm going to keep it in just because I didn't wear enough makeup this week. That's the only reason. I should have taken it away with me and then I would have worn it, but I didn't. Did I? I forgot. This is the Essence Baby Got Blush Liquid Blush in the shade Blushing Berry. So I'm going to keep this in because I definitely want to use this. Every time I've swatched it, it looks so creamy and blendable and smooth, and I can't wait to use it. So this will be used this week. My lip gloss is the Kind Collective Lip Oil in the shade Homecoming Queen. I did wear this. I really enjoyed it. This is more cooler toned. So when did I wear this? I think I took it away with me. Yes, I did. I wore this with a lip liner for sure. But yes, I mean, I already know I love this formula. It was just the shade I wanted to play with, and it's beautiful. And then I had 2 perfume products. I have the Air Sunset in Paris Eau de Parfum. This is inspired by Coco Mademoiselle. It's beautiful. It's fresh. The sun has been coming out this week. It's been very windy, but the sun has been out. So this has been a lovely fragrance to pair with that sun shining, because as I'm sure a lot of you have experienced a lot of rain this winter. So this has been a nice feel good kind of fragrance to get me excited for warmer weather. And then I wanted to try the Kind Collective's little fragrances. These are mini. I received the little 3-pack travel set. So this is not the full size. When I link this, it's the full size. This is my favorite of the 3. I gave the other 2 to my children because they're a little bit too, I will say, immature for my taste in terms of scent profile. But the Up Late I really enjoy. I actually enjoyed wearing this week. So this, I can't remember the notes because it doesn't really say, but the vibe that I got was it was a little bit more sophisticated than the other 2. It's got like a warm nighttime but still fruity, woody vibe to it. It does remind me of like designer fragrances where you can't really pinpoint the notes, but it has that vibe of nighttime with still a little bit of freshness. So I actually really like this one. I just realized, caught up, I didn't see it, but I also have the Catrice Melt and Shine Juicy Lip Balm. This is actually what I'm wearing today. I just did a little dabble. I didn't do too much, but I really like it. I did it with like a very neutral lip liner, and I actually love how this looks because I love just a hint of rouge, not like a full-blown red lip, but just a hint. I love that. So I thought this was going to look really pink on me because when I swatched it, it looked really pink. But no, this looks really nice. This for me is a perfect everyday lip color. So the products that I'm going to bring in for this week, I'm going to keep the Kevyn Aucoin foundation for another week. I thought a good concealer that would match the foundation is the Revolution IRL Filter Finish in C3. They're both fair. They're both got, this one's matte, but the Kevyn Aucoin's like a natural satin. So I thought they would pair well just while I'm pale. That's it. While I'm pale, use my pale products. I'm actually going to bring in a very old product that I love so dearly. This is the Nars Summer Lights Face Palette. So they have just released what their Christmas collection is. So I thought I'd bring this out. They've got like a more of a blush highlighter palette launching. I'll show you a quick photo, but I will do a new Beauty in Australia video again soon because towards the end of the year is when the launches really pump out. So I need to stay on top of that, don't I, guys? Don't I? Hold me accountable. But anyway, I thought I'd bring this one out. This is just all bronze. So this is a bronzer, this is a highlighter, and then these are all eyeshadows, and they're stunning. They're like a, how do I describe it? They're not a Bake Chalet, but they've got that buttery softness that a Bake Chalet provides. But I don't actually know what the formula is. You know how Nars, they have their own thing going on. No one else can do what they do. It's a powder, but it feels creamy at the same time. This makes me look like a bronze goddess. That's all I can say. Every time I wear this is like my go-to summer travel palette. So you might be able to see I've used a bit of the bronzer. I'm not a huge highlighter person, but I've definitely had a good crack at it. I've had this for a while. I just love this. I love the tones of the browns. These tones are stunning. So I'm going to bring that in for the week. Just have some fun with it. I love it. It's old, but it's good. And then a new product, I'm going to bring in the Westman Atelier Baby Cheeks Powder Blush Duo in Suede Sable. Suede Sable. This is my new love. The new love of my life has arrived. I am very grateful. I won this in gratis at Mecca. And I'll be eternally grateful that I won this and the concealer. Like, I have previously bought the Baby Cheeks Petal and Mimi blush, and I have the Biscuit Contour. Like, I love their stuff. Their formula is insane, but it's so out of price bracket. It is so out. So to have received this, I am very, very grateful, and I want to play with it. I have only brought one blush product in because I'm keeping the Baby Cheeks from, oh God, we got a lot of Baby Cheeks. Baby Got Blush, sorry, from Essence. So I'm going to keep that. And then I thought I'd bring in a nice, fun, colourful shade of the Kind Collective Lip and Cheek Mousse in the shade Class Crush. Now this is so pretty, but I've used the other two, but I haven't used this one. So let's give this a swatch. And these are very pigmented, so this will definitely be putting on the back of my hand and then blending on my face. That's pretty. I can't wait to use it. I know I love the formula. It's moussey, so it dries down, but it doesn't look flat. It's still got life to it. It still looks hydrating. So I'm very excited to try that one out. And then lastly is the lip product I've been obsessed with, but I'm going to officially bring it in for the week. This is the Maybelline Glaze Lip Oil Balm. And this is in the shade Pink Drip. So some people have been swatching this and they can't see any color and they're assuming it's clear. It shows up on me. So the color shows up on my fair skin. You can see that. And mixed with a lip liner, this actually looks so good. It looks so good. This is not clear on me. It's very sheer, but with a lip liner, it looks like a full lip, like I've done a full lip. So if you're fair like me, this still shows up as color, but on pretty much everyone else, it shows up as clear. I'm obsessed. They went viral. I don't need to be anxious. I've only just bought it. I don't need another one, but it's one of those products that I feel like I always need. And then I'm just going to pick one fragrance mist. This is from Gem. I'm sampling all of them and I want to be able to wear all of them so I can do an in-depth review. This is the Watermelon Fresh for body and hair with notes of juicy watermelon and sweet peach. This reminds me of a watermelon Jolly Rancher, if you know what that smells like, but it smells like a sour, juicy, sweet, super fresh watermelon. It smells like a watermelon candy or like a watermelon lollipop, as opposed to like a fresh watermelon that you would just smell in its true form. It's really nice. So I'm going to be wearing this all week as, it's actually really good. I really like this one. I wouldn't go and pick a watermelon fragrance, but now that I have it, these go for $12 from Priceline. Let me know if there's anywhere else that sells them. Maybe Woolworths, but definitely Priceline. That's where I bought mine. I do have a fragrance coming in the mail. I bought myself a birthday gift. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it has been on my wish list for like 2 years now. So I have something exciting coming next week. So that's why I just want to play with this week. No fragrance, just the mist. I still have another week of nothing major happening, maybe a little bit of makeup wearing, but nothing special. So I thought I'd just pop this one in, and I thought that would be fun to use for the week. I still use other things, but I like to focus on one thing for the week. So that is everything. That is my weekly roundup. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. You know I like to hear them. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.